Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those joining us for the first time, I'm responsible for identifying and analyzing digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and the market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our research and market events over the past week, here are some notable token price movements and what we think drove these moves. As a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. Well, it has been quite a busy, news-filled week, guys. I mean, not only do we have a new war breaking out in the Middle East between Israel and Iran, yesterday the Genius Stablecoin Act or bill, was officially passed by the Senate. The Coinbase also is now seeking SEC approval to offer blockchain-based stocks. Bybit, one of the other largest exchanges in the space, also announced that they're going to be offering stock trading at some point in the future. And we have even seen JP Morgan file for a JPMD stablecoin. So lots going on, a lot of excitement in the space. But as always, we're here to talk about the tokens, so we will get started. So first up, I'm going to talk about Pudgy Penguins. So in cuter news, last week, the NFT collection Pudgy Penguins announced two major partnerships. So the first one was with NASCAR, and the announcement actually read that they're trying to bring Pengu to NASCAR fans worldwide. So very few details on kind of like what this partnership actually entails, but that is a really big brand for Pudgy Penguins to partner with, even if it is just some of the sponsorship for some of the races and some of the events that they have. Definitely really great for visibility for them. The other partnership was actually with Lufthansa's Miles and More program. So customers who shop in the Pudgy Penguin shop online can earn miles for the airline's reward programs. So again, kind of another really big brand partnership, not necessarily like huge in terms of like driving price appreciation for the collection or for the token itself, the Pengu token, but great for the brand. They've been doing a ton of PR recently, but the other announcement in addition to these two kind of like major partnerships is they also announced an integration with My Neighbor Alice, which is a Web3 multiplayer game. And again, this adds to a bunch of Web2 partnerships that they've announced or made in the last few months, including Walgreens, Barnes and Noble, Scrub Daddy. And so we're going to continue to see, I think, what this project has to offer and will be putting out. Despite this, the token is down 22% for the week. Okay. On Monday, the Origin Protocol DAO officially approved a buyback of their OGN token using 3 million of DAO treasury assets. So we're seeing this more and more now. Lots of buybacks happening within the DeFi and protocol space for projects. So Origin Protocol, if you're not familiar with them, they have a suite of products. Most of that is concentrated in their ETH liquid staking token. So kind of as a competitor to Lido, if you're familiar with them, and their staked ETH derivative. They also offer a yield-bearing stablecoin, and they have a lot of kind of derivative products on top of each of these that offer like extra or amplified yield. So OGN bought back. The OGN that's bought back is going to be distributed to OGN stakers, and the buyback is kind of scheduled to begin by July 4th and will be front-loaded in the first week. Origin Protocol currently has about $150 million in TVL, which is kind of on the smaller side for one of these stakers. We'll see if this incrementally moves the needle in any way, though. They are down 15% for the week. Okay, next up we have a 2-for-1. So so if you're familiar, Sky is a decentralized finance project, but they were formerly known as MakerDAO, and they had their primary business was a stablecoin called DAI that was basically backed by crypto and not backed by fiat, and built as a kind of alternative to Circle's USDC and Tether's USDT. So they rebranded about 6 months ago to Sky. And as part of this, they also have planned for a long time to spin out their lend borrow product called Spark. So basically, yesterday, the Spark token was eligible to be claimed for the airdrop. And so it had a pretty wide-ranging airdrop actually in terms of eligibility, and it went back as far as 2023. So Spark, like I said, the lend borrow protocol built by Sky, and the idea is that they kind of offer like the best rates on USDS stablecoin, which is Sky's new brand name for DAI. and technically Spark was created as a sub DAO of the overall Sky project. And so the token airdrop, though this has been expected for well over a year now, is been pretty important. So the airdrop marks the beginning kind of a new chapter for Sky, which is now entering a period of what most would call yield farming or points farming. So users can start to earn a second wave of airdrop points in an effort to pick up activity. So so far the SPK token, it's just going to be used for governance and then staking to earn Spark points rewards. These items are not yet activated, but supposedly will be in the near future. So while overall Sky has annualized revenue of about $265 million, which is pretty sizable, pretty big, Spark actually makes up $174 million of that revenue, and which is about 65% of the business. So Spark, definitely a very kind of valuable asset entering the market here. Spark is, by the way, the third largest lend borrow protocol with $1.6 billion of loans outstanding. Sky is down 6.6% for the week, and Spark is down 12% since it was released to airdrop yesterday. All right, last, we are going to talk about Aerodrome. So on Friday, Coinbase announced that it's going to integrate the pools of the Aerodrome decentralized exchange directly into the Coinbase app. So if you're not familiar with Aerodrome, they are actually a fork of something called Velodrome, which started on Arbitrum, a layer 2 on Ethereum. And then Aerodrome is the issuance of that same decentralized exchange on Base, which is Coinbase's layer 2 network. So they are the largest DEX on Coinbase in terms of volume, and they're going to massively benefit from this integration. Because basically before, if you wanted to go use Aerodrome, you would just have to get your assets on the Base chain and then go use it. But the idea here is that instead of leaving the Coinbase exchange, taking your assets off chain onto the Base L2 and then going to Aerodrome, you should be able to do everything kind of seamlessly within the Coinbase app. So again, a very big deal. It also means it'll direct a lot of Coinbase's users to start using the protocol. Following this announcement, Coinbase also put out that users of Coinbase One are going to be able to earn Aero rewards for locking and staking tokens, basically offering them access to on-chain yield. So again, something that is kind of generally like a more complex thing for somebody to do on-chain, trading on-chain and then locking their tokens. Coinbase is going to be integrating these features directly into their app for users, which is huge and should be driving more activity to the chain, to Aerodrome. So Aerodrome saw $16.9 billion in volume last month, just to give you an idea, which is about 50% of the Base DEX market share. So this integration, though, it's not live. The announcement has pushed Aero, the token, to outperform. It's up about 30% since the announcement, and it's up 46% just this week. All right, guys, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed our insights. Tune in here again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.